Chapter 9, You Will Get Seduced. This is one of the most challenging things that will happen to you is when you are trading off the known today, what you understand, for something that's unknown, and investing in alternatives that you have very little understanding, the sort of venturing idea, whether it's having kids, whether it is doing something entrepreneurial, whether it's getting an education, any number of different things that are venturing where you're doing this trade-off, you will get seduced by other people. And it's often, they may not necessarily say something, but it's often because you're doing something that is very, very natural that we all do, and that is social comparison. So what is social comparison? What does it actually get us to do? Is it gets us to learn about our circumstance and where we should be and how we stand. Because what we end up doing is we pick a group that we compare ourselves to, or maybe it's one or two people, and then we think about how we can be in their shoes. What is the best possible outcome? We use these as sort of thinking and learning about how we should be and what should be our position in this world. We use this as a learning mechanism, and a lot of times it's helpful, but other times it's very, very seductive, where particularly when you're venturing, when you're doing things that are unknown to anybody, that people don't quite understand, you'll often turn to what other people are doing and seeing and saying, oh, well, they have it so easy. They understand. And in modern culture, we have this often on steroids because we have access to different platforms, social media platforms that sell us a bill of goods often, where people tell you that there is a simple way, one clear path, and you just have to follow this one clear path. And the truth is, it's not that way at all. And you have to take a step back and try not to be seduced. The problem is that I guarantee almost everybody will be seduced along the way if you do anything that's venturing, that's a little unusual. Whether it's when you're a new parent, you turn to what other people are doing. And the truth is, when you do those, nobody knows what the right answer often is. It's unclear. And so you are trying to make sense of an unknown reality by following other people that do not understand their own reality as well. And so why is there this seductive nature? It's because nobody really knows what the actual answer is. That there is too much complexity ever. I know it's a big word, but what I'm meaning is that there's a lot of relationships that are interconnected, and they're often very unclear. And one of the things that you learn, so I teach a PhD level research methods class, and it's extraordinarily difficult to understand how something actually works and to get what is called the mechanism, the one clear answer or why something actually happens. And in the natural world, when you're doing normal things, as we do, you never quite understand what the answers are and how clear what are the clear paths forward. So the only thing that I can say, because it's extraordinarily seductive when you look at the world and somebody tells you that there's an easy path, either through social comparison or by listening to other people. The only thing that you could do is work on your sense of self, where you think about what are the possible paths forward, and you realize that there's no clear paths for anybody, and you try to walk your own walk. I know that this is challenging for all of us to think about, but we all come from different paths. And the only thing that you learn along the way is that these paths are unique. The best path for you may not be the best path for anybody else. And what I've learned is that the only thing that you can do is have a bit of a adaptive algorithm. So what do I mean by that? That's something that we study. And one of the things that we end up doing in terms of algorithms is looking at how things track over time. And so you can choose to follow the path of what you do and follow the path of what other people can do. And so what you want to do and think about is try to create some sort of combination that you're really tracking on the path that you actually have, but every once in a while try to include information that other people are providing. It's very difficult to know when and how much and what is the right ratio of doing that. But the only thing that I can say is if you simply track and you try to include information once in a while, just for search and discovery to see if it actually works, is healthy. But if you rely too much on what other people are doing, the sort of seductive nature of that, then you often follow the wrong path. So the clear thing that you have to do, and this goes for even, I look at a lot of research, and the research doesn't necessarily tell you what the right thing is to do. It's often just tried and true and boring. There's lots of reasons for that. I don't want to get into it, but it's doing the same thing all the time, repeatedly. And I encourage you, if you're venturing, look at historical norms. Look at how things feel, like feeling part of it. If it feels icky or if it feels just not quite right, it's probably not for you. And you just keep following that path over time. With all of this, I know that this is difficult to get out, but there's no real clear path for anybody. And the seductive nature of what other people tell you and what you see often persuades you to go in perhaps the wrong direction sometimes. So just default to doing your tried and true, repeatedly boring, basic things. And every once in a while, try to explore, perhaps with your own ideas or perhaps with other people's ideas. And none of this is that unique of information that I'm saying, but it's extraordinarily important to understand. All right, take care. Have a wonderful day.